Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you and the heads of panel to give me a chance for explaining my point of view about alternative macro vision of economic method. During last 2 decades, the world had witnessed great crisis. Since 2001, in September 11 in New York, what happens? The serious economic crisis started from 2006 in the United States and continued till 2008 reached its peak. Such crisis in the United States was transmitted rapidly to countries, particularly European countries. In my paper, I explained to you 3 points of view about fundamental question for reach to the equilibrium and welfare economy, which we call them liberalism, socialism, and the third one, the new method, which I explained to you. First of all, I explained shortly the method of liberalism. The methodology in free competitive market based on some expert of axioms: profit maximization, utility maximization, and expressions which newly explained it Eliazon in 2009, which we called it ecopathy. It means more economic wants without thinking about the other people wants. The special phenomena to controlling method in competitive market and reaching to the equilibrium and welfare economy are as follows. First, reinforcement of institutionalism and using it for explaining the new equilibrium points. Second one, considering qualitative parameter of human dignity, which mentioned to it at 2010 in a group G, and you can saw the explanation of President of America about how we can use dignity for fighting with moral hazards. And the third one, considering religious and ethical components in economic structure. The research and papers of Kenneth Arrow about ethics and economy show this point of view. But nevertheless, of using this controlling method, what we clearly are witnessing in recent years, especially after the crisis of 2008, is great economic and social crisis, which there is peaks are in recent years. The second method, which we can use it for reaching to the welfare economy, is Marxism. According to the historical materialism analysis, in Marxist framework, cultures, ethics, and components such as equality, commitment, and participation and justice are seen as tools. He used them as instrumental in his explaining of his thesis. The mismatch between Marxism anticipation in economic and political chances, not considering the religious and ethical concepts in economic affairs, not regarding their entrepreneurship and the employer's management in the process of production, are seen as a 3 shortcomings of Marxism. Therefore, it seems that it cannot solve the problem to reach to the equilibrium and economic welfare for human beings. And a third way. The third way, recognized of special point of view. It seems that the system can guarantee the human needs when it has sufficient information about them. The principal points about the new method, which I called it the third method, is follows. First, fundamental need is justice for human being. It's concerned as a rational principle for setting the relation between human beings, social relation, political relation, and economic relation. Second, consideration of innate affairs and values, exactly what are underestimated in the free competitive market system and also in a Marxism point of view. It seems that in a modern method, the eligible pattern in economic behavior and relation acts in harmonically in production, distribution, and consumption fields. Finally, the third way mentioned in this article, which completely I give it to you, it's about rational behavior paradigm are substituted by the good sense for devising new behavioral model inspired by the righteous and wittiest people. These people are prophets and infallible leaders who consider the rational principle in the line with the necessary virtue in the economic interactions. In conclusion, we reach to them. A way was developed which provide mental, spiritual, and innate tranquility of the mankind in associate with meeting human economic life. And finally, I quote you special verses of Quran, which explain this general method of reaching to equilibrium. O Muhammad, He has ordained for you of religion and method what He enjoined upon Nuh, peace be upon him, and what we enjoined upon Abraham and Moses and Jesus, to establish the religion and not to be divided therein. Allah chooses for Himself who He guides to Himself. Thank you very much.
And please, Lorenzo Cara.